Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tarot Juice. And in this episode, we're going to be covering the energy forecast mid-month of May for the fire signs. So we got Aries, we got Leo, we got Sagittarius. Just as a little reminder to all my fire warriors out there, we fire signs have an upper hand and a responsibility to ignite the fire within, which is the passions, the spirit, in order to help ignite other people's fires so that they can go on to do what they need to do, so that they can go on to pursue whatever they need to pursue in life, but specifically to pursue what is most aligned with their purpose, with their spirit, with their energy. Fire, it was the first element. It is the element that cleanses, it is the element that destroys, and it's the element that creates. So that's why Aries is the first element in the zodiac, because it is the one that begins everything. So just that little disclaimer to before I even start any specific reading for my fire sign friends, to just keep that in mind, okay? You have an upper hand and a responsibility to keep your fire lit so that you can light up everyone around you too. All right. So let's get into it. Aries, 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 the beautiful generator of ideas. Aries, Aries, Aries. Let's see what May has in store for you. Well, mid-May, at least, up until the very end. Aries, 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 Aries. Oh, hello. Boom, boom. Let's see if anything else comes up already. Oh, yeah, wow. That's so funny. We're dealing with fire signs, and there's a lot of fire energy coming through. So let's just deal with these cards that have just popped up. I'm going to plop them up a little bit so that you can take in the image. The moon. Which the water element, the moon, is a complete contrast to fire energy, just to keep that in mind. We got the Page of Wands here. Beautiful. Messenger of fire. And then we got the Ace of Wands here. I consider this the sort of like, I mean, it's not the swords, right? It's not the swords suit, but it's sort of like the sword in the stone kind of pillar of energy that, you know, we're sort of so tempted to grasp on so that we can begin a new journey. But we'll get into that, okay? The first thing I'm getting, I mean, obviously I'm already like feeling a little like there's a lot of impulsivity going on. There's a lot of lack of direction going on. There's a lot of excitement in the air. There's a lot of... And my phone just falls. I mean, I'm going to keep that in just so that you guys can really understand what I'm trying to get at here. There is like, it's a lot of energy that doesn't know how to ground itself. And that energy is great, right? That energy is great because it helps start a project along. It helps start something. It helps us start. I'm just going to keep it there. But there's a lot of overstimulation that's taking away from a clear direction, right? And I think that is a great strength and a weakness of Aries, you gods and goddesses of war, where you have this undeniable passion and this amazing ability to start and spark anything, but then you need to focus that energy and maintain a steady discipline to keep it going, okay? So the basis of what's stopping you, so the moon, this beautiful card, a lot of your subconscious is being triggered right now. And it's really up to you to understand that it's just trying to, you're being triggered, not so that you can express your anger, but so that you can transmute your anger to a more tangible energy that you can use to create rather than just to destroy and vocalize and be heard. Okay, right now is not a time to be heard. Right now is a time to go within, to really scan all the things that you're afraid of, to put your control in check. Don't try to control anything. Don't try to possess anything. Don't try to feel like you're a master of anything. Right now, you just need to relax yourself. There's a lot that's being triggered out of you. I'm seeing like a boiling river. And right now, we need to temper that river down a little bit, okay? You're very energized. You're very passionate about whatever is happening right now. New projects are starting, but you need to relax and you need to find ways to, again, find water to extinguish that intense fire that's blazing through. And the reason why I say this is because the Page of Wands is delivering to you this initial spark to start something. But the Page of Wands is also saying you're going to be, look, you're floating above right now. Energy is swirling you up. But you need to find a way to get yourself back to the ground. Or else you're going to be too overstimulated. You're going to spread your energy really thin and nothing is going to come to fruition. Okay, this is a very important thing for fire signs, but especially Aries. You need to focus in on a discipline. Make sure you build your discipline. Right now, that's the first step. I know you want to see instant satisfaction. You want to see instant results. You want to be instantly gratified, but that's not going to happen. This isn't the way the world works. Unfortunately, we've been accustomed to this because of all of the things that we're used to right now, especially social media. We see instant results all the time, but that is false. That is a fake reality. It is superficial. That doesn't exist. You need to maintain a steady discipline. And if you don't already have a steady discipline in hand, you need to start one. Make sure you have a morning routine in check. Make sure you have your tools ready for when you're triggered. Because you're gonna be triggered. The moon is here. It's bringing out the shadows inside. It's bringing out your darker aspects, which is control and possession. The only thing you are required to control is what's happening inside of you. Okay, that's the only thing here. You're being tempted. You're being tested. And they want you to relax. That's honestly the biggest thing here. Just relax. Every time you feel the need to exert yourself, to say something, to do something, sit back and observe. And notice how the universe will do it for you in the way that is most aligned with everybody. It's just way too much. And once you do that, once you finally get yourself up here, all that fire that's blazing, once you start to bring it back down to the ground, then you're going to find this. And you're going to find this because this has come up. You're going to find this. Look at that. You got the mountains there in the range. You got your goals set. You got that pillar of energy just waiting for you to just grab on and hold on to. And it's a beautiful start of a journey that is most aligned with you. So like I said, you have one requirement and one requirement only, and it's to ground yourself and to avoid exerting yourself. Avoid controlling anything. Avoid controlling anyone. Right now is not a time to predict the future. This isn't for you. Don't do anything because you think it's gonna secure you find emotional stability. This isn't, no, you need to go out of your comfort zone a little bit by doing nothing. I know that sounds really hard. Just do nothing. And I'm going to leave it there, okay? Let's move on to beautiful Leo friends. Oh, Leo. Oh, Leo. I don't know what to say about you guys. You guys have such a light. Such a light. Oh, wow. Okay. You guys have a light and it attracts a lot of people, okay? It attracts a lot of people around you. And that attraction, you know, it's very easy to oh, wow. It's very easy to get used to that attraction, okay? And to feed off of that energy of receiving affirmation from outside, but it's really time to hone in on self-affirming. Okay, don't do things to get attention. Just don't. It's not gonna lead you anywhere. The only attention you need right now is from yourself. It's from your higher self, your creator. That's the best kind of affirmation you can give yourself because it's the most sustainable, okay? And that's what I'm getting from this Ace of Swords that just dropped. I'm gonna show you guys the card. This might only be 2 cards that are coming up for you guys. Let me just shuffle a little more. There we are. All right, so we're stuck in the head here. We are stuck in the mental realm and we need to get ourselves outside of it a little bit, okay? So we got this, the beautiful Ace of Swords, the literal sword in the stone or in the snow here. Just take that in a little bit. Again, the sword is the symbol of the word, okay? The word is in the word sword. And the sword, which we wield in our hands every day, is the metaphor. It's a metaphorical sword for our words, our communication. So you've had an epiphany recently, something that has ignited your mental realm. You're stuck in that mental realm because you're trying to bring that into your physical realm, okay? We go back to the Hermetic law, as above, so below. So anything that happens here manifests through our word, and our word creates our reality. It's a very simple but a very difficult thing to hone in on, because as fire signs, we love to speak, we love to vocalize, we love to perform. You Leos love to perform, you love to put on a show. It's all about that play and that fun. So really focus on the words that you use. Try to consider your everyday as having a word count and don't exceed that word count. The more you speak, the more you thin your energy out, right? The more you speak, the more energy is spread out from within, the more is spread out to other people. And you Leos have a way of attracting a lot of people, and unfortunately, not all of that energy that you attract in is beneficial for you. So a lot of people, and especially you Leos, they get jealous of you. You just have an innate light that shines so bright and people want a piece of it. You are ruled by the sun. You are ruled by your heart. You are the divine child within and you love to play. But play with people who want to play with you, not play at you, right? Who want to play and have fun with you, not play around with what you're saying and what you're doing. Otherwise, they're not going to use it well, okay? That's why we see the Justice card here. What goes around comes around, and unfortunately, that's not always beneficial, okay? Words have a way of, again, also creating and destroying. Make sure the words that you speak are to everyone's highest good, okay? We forget as human beings that speech is such a divine tool. To speak, to vocalize, to express what is happening within is a special gift given to human beings. So I would really recommend this time around to start using that word divinely, okay? The third card that we have here is the 5 of Swords. And what this is telling me is that you want to speak to be right. You want to speak for argument's sake instead of... So you want to win the battle, but that doesn't necessarily mean you win the war, right? We all know this expression here. So little battles might be won. You can use the intensity and the amazing, bold quality of your word and your expression to overcome obstacles and to overthrow people, but that's not necessarily gonna be to your advantage. It might be in the short term, but you're not really building a long term for yourself, okay? So please, 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 I mean, again, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Justice, which there is a dagger, and there's a snake biting at you, and then we have the 5 of Swords. The swords, the word is so important here to finesse, to sharpen. But we don't want to sharpen the word to stab or to insult people or to hurt them, because that's always going to come back at us, okay? Always, in one way or another. This is how karma works. We want to be able to keep the sword on our sides, to inspire people with how mighty our sword is, but the fact that we don't even put our hand on it because we don't need to. Because our words that we speak out are so soothing to the ear that it forces our enemy, or whoever is opposing us, whoever is against us, or whoever we feel like we need to prove something to, it forces them to also put their sword down, and then they suddenly become your friend, and then suddenly you guys are on the same page. And then you're that beautiful, inspiring, fatherly Leo energy again, the king of the jungle, the queen of the jungle. We want to get back to that, okay? The main lesson here is it's not important to win. It's important to inspire through the use of our word, okay? It's super important. I'm just going to leave it there. Make sure you inspire. Don't just be right. That's not what we're trying to do here. Now we're going to move on to Sagittarius. My beautiful Sagittarian brothers and sisters. I'm a Sagittarius. We are here to teach. We are here to think, philosophize, love above anything else, to love, to bring out what is true in people. And unfortunately, that sometimes makes our words really burn if we're not careful of what we're saying and what we're doing. And because we can get so caught up in honesty that sometimes it works against us, right? It works against us because this honesty, even though we might be telling the truth, it's delivered in a way that does not inspire change because of how brash it is. So it's a forest fire, right? Rather than a bonfire. And that's really the best way that I can put it. It'll blaze through, it won't blaze what's within. And already I'm getting a very, again, 8 of Swords. We're stuck in our minds here. And I have to say, I've been doing a lot of thinking myself. We're stuck in our minds here, but the only enemy is ourselves. The only enemy is the illusion of our thoughts, right? Our thoughts might be convincing us of a lot of negative things because we're so hard on ourselves. We want to give our entire selves to everybody. We want to inspire everyone around us to do what they need to be doing, but we're forgetting ourselves in the process. We do that. We forget ourselves because we just put everyone else on a pedestal, and it's not okay. It's not okay here because you can't give yourself if you don't give to yourself. It's always the first thing here. Beautiful. I just had a weird, not really weird because I do this often, but I had the impulse to meow. And the reason why I say that is because I think, again, the kitty energy is strong here. The cat energy is strong here. The domestic cat mainly, right? The nurturer, the seducer. We're very seductive in the way that we speak. We're very seductive in the way that we move. We seem aloof, but really we're just reading the energy in the room. And right now that cat energy is coming through, and it's coming strong. So again, another beautiful reminder to use your seductive and your tempting energy to inspire people very softly, very gracefully. A cat is very graceful and very light in its movements. We want to stay away from brash honesty, and we want to be able to, again, teach step by step, inspire people step by step. might be it, guys. Just 2 cards for us Sagittarians, and that's okay because there's a lot to speak in these cards. Just gonna do a few more shuffles. All right, it's just gonna be these 2 guys. There's a lot to speak about here. So the first one is the 8 of Swords. Okay. Notice the little girl who's behind these swords. But notice also that there is a way out here. But we're so caught in seeing this self-imposed restriction that we can't see this beautiful space and this beautiful butterfly that's trying to lead us out of this self-imposed depression or self-imposed limitation. Not depression. I take that back. It's not a depression here. It's a limitation that we're imposing on ourselves because we are so strong about what we think is right or wrong that we see the world too black and white. But it's not black and white, it's gray. Things in between. And you can play around and you can color outside of the lines and it's okay. You're not breaking any oaths. You're not breaking any promises. You're just rewriting a contract. And that's all right. It is your right to rewrite contracts. No pun intended. And then we have the second card here, the 2 of Wands. Again, beautiful fire energy coming through. Again, 2, right? Duality, polarity, right, wrong, what's right and wrong. You decide what's right and wrong. And you get to change that. Okay, so let's get into the 8 of Swords. You gotta stop being so hard on yourself. It's just as simple as that. Okay, you gotta stop extracting the fun from life because everything is so serious. And things are serious, okay? Things are definitely serious. What we speak and what we say and what we do creates our reality, and we consider that an extremely valuable tool, and we can get carried away with how important that is to keep finessing. It takes away from the fun, and the butterfly here is trying to lead us out of this limitation and to play around and to test limits and to experiment so that we have a more complex view of life. All right? It's not fair that we do this to ourselves. You gotta be able to walk away from the prison of your mind and remind yourself that life is fun. And it's as simple as that. And once you remind yourself that life is fun, whatever projects you're embarking on right now, you're in the planning phase, you will be able to see the right way forward. Okay? And you're not gonna follow the ways that you used to follow in the past. That's just going to lead you to nowhere. Okay, we're not trying to listen to our ego that's aligned with survival here. We're trying to listen to our ego that is aligned with abundance, and abundance comes with experiencing and embracing all of life. That includes ourselves first and foremost. Okay, so we have the 2 of Wands here, planning for a beautiful future. Look at that energy that's just waiting, that seductive, swirly, flirtatious energy that can charm anybody in a second. You gotta tap into that energy, okay? And that's gonna be able to help you move forward up into those mountains where your glory is, where your achievements are waiting for you. And again, we Sagittarians, we have a beautiful way of seeing what is possible, but then we don't know how to get there because we are so just caught up in the fun of things. We forget that responsibility is a big deal. So take responsibility. Take responsibility for your words. Take responsibility for getting yourself out of any rut that you put yourself in, just assuming that this blind optimism is going to find a solution. It ain't. You're going to find a solution. You can't just keep giving that to the universe to solve things for you, okay? You have a vision here and it's really ready to be achieved. It's ready to be realized, but it's asking you to get out of your own head, to have fun a little bit, but to have fun with the serious things. Move forward. Move forward with a plan and not just, it's going to work out. Not just that energy, okay? Because it is going to work out, but a discipline is required. And you got to start building that discipline, okay? The discipline isn't really there yet. You know all the parts that make up this discipline, whatever it is that's going to help you, whatever tools you found that's going to help you. But you need to lay down the bridge for yourself or you're going to fall in the water again. And that's just the truth here, okay? So build that discipline. Or you're just going to revert back to dilly-dallying and living in this dream world illusion that everyone is here to serve you. Not really serve you, but everyone is here to just give you what you want because you deserve it, and you do deserve it, but you got to put the work in. And whatever it is that you have to give is so worth it. It's so worth it because everything that you do is injected with this amazing, passionate love. And that's really what gets us forward, is this love. So share that love with yourself. And that love here is a tough kind of love of do the work. Do the work, be consistent, and move forward. And just focus on that. Don't get ahead of yourself. Right now is not a time to see and to live the final result, okay? Take those baby steps forward. And hopefully that will set up a really good foundation for you in June to energize all of those seeds that you planted so that the sun of summer can bring everything out to fruition, or to at least start that process. So by the time fall comes, the harvest is ready to be received and collected. Thank you all for joining me in this fiery energy forecast. It was kind of everywhere, but that's just us fire signs. We're kind of everywhere, okay? We are everywhere, and we want to imprint ourselves on everything. But that thins the energy out. So please take the time. I think there was definitely this common theme of lay down your weapons, focus on your discipline, and focus on really minimizing the words that you use to inspire people forward, so that you can get used to inspiring yourself forward and giving the best part of yourself. And that does involve surrendering and being wrong sometimes, okay? Because being wrong in the short term, or accepting that in the short term, is going to help you build a very sustainable long term of a win-win for everybody, okay? We don't want to just win here. We want everyone to be involved because there's space for everybody, okay? So just keep these things in mind. And we'll see what next month has in store for all of us, okay? Blessings to you all. Keep igniting people's hearts. Keep igniting your own heart. And tune in next month and we'll see what's up.